I just remembered that I did not post my videos from last week. I just remembered that I didn't post the ones from last week. That's so annoying. All right, let me pull up YouTube. I guess I should just say, hey, Wolf, how's it going? How is everyone? How's everyone doing? Hi, Adria. How's everyone doing? Oh, thanks, Rotten Ruby. It's okay. I don't really feel that great today. I feel a little bit crappy, but I think that being depressed is contributing to feeling crappy, if that makes sense. But I decided that despite the fact that I feel crappy, I still wanted to do a live just because I'm home now and I haven't done a live in a while. Yeah, Hazer. It's really hard. It's really hard. I haven't really yeah, I wanted to do a live just because I haven't done a live here in a little bit. I think I told you guys the last time I did a live that I was going to be traveling, and I am going to be traveling again at the end of June, but I wanted to do a live despite kind of feeling crappy because I missed you guys and I wanted to hang out and see what was going on and see how everyone was doing. So I was like, okay, I should go and do this anyway, even if I don't feel so great. Yeah. Oh, Rotten Ruby, thank you. Thank you for listening to my music. I appreciate that. I appreciate you guys. Me Panther, I did miss you guys. You know what I was thinking, and I was thinking about how glad I was about it, is that I care a lot about what kind of community I'm building. And I was just thinking about how much I really, really like you guys. You guys are really cool. I see that a lot of people, when they are building a community on a platform like YouTube or TikTok or whatever, they really care just about numbers. They want to have a lot of subscribers or a lot of followers. And that's great and all, but what if your community sucks or is really toxic? What I really like about the followers or the subscribers that I have here, and it's only a couple thousand, is that you guys are really cool and you care what I gather. You care about what is happening in the world. You care about people. You care about the truth. And most of the interactions that I've had with you guys, you're okay with being challenged, which is so important. So I'm really grateful for that. Oh yeah, Wolf. I was on the Bituation Room with Francesca Fiorentini. It was really nice. Oh, hey, Zach. Love Zach. It's good to be true and honest. Yeah, and that's the thing is that it's sometimes hard to be really, really honest all the time because I'm sure that you guys have heard about that term audience capture, where people start to become afraid of their own audience because they know that people have prior opinions and they basically just want their opinions to be validated. And I've had backlash on Instagram when I talked about something that my followers didn't like. And honestly, I told them to stop following me. When people were like, I'm unfollowing you because you criticized Sean King, I'm like, good riddance. Because I don't want people in my community that are just like they just want to hear what they want to hear. They want to hear what they already believe. They want their priors validated. Like, if a person who's like that is like, I'm unfollowing you, I'm like, bye. Like, I want people in my community that are okay with being challenged, that are critical thinkers, and that are not afraid to hear information that they might otherwise not agree with or something. So, I'm glad that even with my small community here on YouTube right now, I feel like this sense that I get from you guys based on the comments and the lives and the Discord I just created, which, by the way, join the Discord if you haven't yet, is that you guys are like open to hearing new information. You are open to hearing things that you might not necessarily think you should agree with. You are compassionate and wanting to learn, and I think that's really great, because that is the community that I want. So I did miss you guys. So because I didn't have a like a set thing I wanted to talk about today, I figured maybe you guys could send me a story that you wanted to talk about. Oh, you know what I should share? I should share with you guys, like, people got so mad. I can't understand people who do not have open minds and cure. Adria, I'm the same way. Like, I don't really understand it, but like, they just want to hear what they want to hear. They just want to hear what they want to hear. Okay, so you guys want to see a tweet that people were losing their minds over that I posted yesterday? People were so mad. They were so butthurt. It was so embarrassing. This one guy literally tweeted at me like 1,000 times, like he was so mad. Like, he wouldn't stop talking about it, wouldn't stop tweeting about it. Wait a second. Oh, here it is. Why is my Twitter so big? Okay. I think I can add a stage. I think. Wait a second. No. Oh, here it is. I forgot. Wait, why isn't it bigger? I don't like that. There we go. She posted this morning, the guy was insanely Zionist. He threw all fact and logic out the window. Oh my gosh. Thanks, Lenny. I appreciate that. Propaganda is a hell of a drug. Okay, so you guys, I posted this last night on Twitter. I don't know how well you can see it, but I just wrote indigenous to the Middle East, Lamau. And oh, people were mad. They were so mad, so mad. It was so funny. This guy was like, so this guy named Max, like, literally tweeted at me like 100 times. Like 100 times. He was so upset that I made fun of him or made fun of their claims of being indigenous to the Middle East that he like would not stop responding, would not stop tweeting at me. It was like, it was so embarrassing. And he kept thinking that he was getting these gotchas in. Like, what he would do was he was taking tweets that I had tweeted right after October 7th, where I was like, oh my gosh, like, this is so awful. I can't believe this happened. Like, people shouldn't be defending it, like, blah, 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 right after October 7th. And he was responding to my tweets being like, see what you wrote? Gotcha. I gotcha. Uh-huh. Like, do these people not understand the concept of changing your mind? Right? Like, do these people not understand the concept of I'm allowed to change my mind when new information is presented? When new information is presented, or I learned something that I didn't know before, we are allowed to change our minds. So, like, this guy being on, gotcha. Like, this is the same shit that Michael Rappaport did, where he was like, you used to not talk about Gaza. Yeah, and now I do. Like, I don't know why you think this is an own. And his quote unquote point was that when I was talking about, in fact, I should find the tweet so I can read it to you guys. Where is it? Because I retweeted it. Here it is. Okay. So he wrote to me, these were some good statements. When did you decide murdering Israelis was okay? Oh my gosh, the gaslighting though. The gaslighting though. So like if you're speaking out about the genocide in Palestine, where children are actually dying, children, unlike their hoaxes of beheaded babies, are actually being beheaded. If you call that out, they go, why do you want to murder Jews? Why? Like the bad faith and the gaslighting is so next level. Okay. It's so next level. So, and this constant centering of themselves and trying to be victims. When are they not trying to be victims? Like, it's so embarrassing. So he was like, oh yeah, well, you tweeted this. And if you guys, I don't know if you guys can see it, but these are old tweets of mine from October 9th, where I wrote, we can care about the plight of the Palestinian civilians without excusing the murder of Jews. Like, come on, people, what are you doing? As I said, I'm not an expert in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, but I'm getting super all lives matters vibes from some of the accounts today, seeing the excusing of Israelis murdered, which is pretty horrifying. I don't pretend to be an expert on Israel-Palestinian conflict, but oh my gosh, I feel so awful for the victims of the Hamas attacks. The stories and photos are horrific. Okay. So let me address that. Sometimes Zionists will retweet me and put those comments on because, again, they think it's an owner gotcha. But I don't delete those. I didn't delete them. I left them up for a reason. Like, I left them up because I want for people to see that it's okay to change your mind and educate yourself. I was speaking as it was a human emotion because when October 7th happened, it looked initially really terrible. So as a human who has empathy for other people, I saw some of the videos that they were putting out and I was like, oh my gosh, that's awful. So I don't know why they think that that's an own. But what I didn't understand at the time was, well, first of all, I didn't understand the like lengths of Zionist propaganda. So I didn't realize at the time that they were putting out so many fake stories. Like this was when they were still trying to push the beheaded babies thing. They were claiming that there were women that were being raped and like all this stuff. So thinking of that, I'm like, oh my gosh, like it was an initial human reaction, I think, to anything that you would see. But then other people had contacted me or reached out to me and been like, you should watch this video, or you should read this book, or you should listen to this Palestinian creator so you can get their perspective, because what you think is happening is not the story. And they're lying about so many things, right? So I was like, yeah, you know what? Maybe I should do that. Oh, and other people, even Zionist creators, were like, well, you shouldn't be talking about this because you're really uneducated on the subject. So I'm like, okay, fair. Let me educate myself. So I spent like literally months reading books about Gaza, about Palestine, about the history, listening to podcasts, listening to Palestinian creators. And like I think would happen to most people if they approached it with an open mind, my mind was blown, was totally blown. Like I couldn't believe what the Palestinians had suffered from. I couldn't believe that I was so ignorant to it and I didn't know. I couldn't believe that I thought that I knew things about politics. And then I thought, oh, wow, I really don't know anything. Like I thought, oh, I know about politics, but literally I didn't. Because all I had heard, whether it was a Democrat, a Republican, mainstream media on the right, mainstream media on the left, all you hear in this country is Zionist propaganda. That's all you hear. And so what I believed at first, because it was all I would hear, was that the reason why Hamas did what they did was because they hate Jews. That's what I would hear. And my whole life I have heard that. Muslims hate Jews. The only reason why this happened, the only reason why the Palestinians don't like Israelis is because they're racist and they hate Jews and they're all terrorists. That's what I would hear. And I heard that my whole life. And then I would hear that. And then I heard it after October 7th. And because of the fact that Jewish people have been historically persecuted. I didn't think it seemed far-fetched. I'm like, oh, I feel bad. Like Jewish people are being persecuted once again. So like actually starting to understand what was really happening, the weaponization of the Holocaust, the Zionist propaganda and lies, the connection that our government has to the Israeli government and the control that the Israeli government has over our politicians and that their lobbies have over our politicians. Like all of that stuff, learning about the occupation and the way that they terrorize Palestinians and learning about the apartheid regime, like all this stuff. It's like you get to a point, and then on top of that, that doesn't even count. Like once they actually invaded, like went into Gaza and started terrorizing them more and murdering them and dropping all these bombs. Like when you start to see that, I don't understand how your mind can't change. Like my mind was already changing even before they invaded Gaza because I was reading and I was listening to Palestinians. But then once they invaded Gaza, I don't know how you can look at what they've done, look at the way their terrorist army operates, look at what sick fucks they are, and not have your mind change. Like, I don't understand it. And then I realized that's why they're constantly doing the propaganda of calling them the most moral army. Because, we don't call America's army the most moral army. We don't say that shit about anyone else. We also don't say shit like America has a right to exist. Who says that? No one says that. But then we're like, oh, well, Israel has a right to exist and a right to defend itself and blah, 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 most moral army. And it's like you start to realize that everything they're saying is a coordinated propaganda campaign. Okay. So you start to realize, and I know that a lot of you who like are more educated or had been already educated on this, it probably, I don't know, maybe sounds dumb. I don't know. But like for me, it was like, oh, a life shifting experience, like for real. Like the combination between learning about Gaza and its history and what they've been through and the persecution and then the smearing of them as people. So not only are they terrorized and they're subjugated and they're oppressed and they're occupied, but then on top of that, they're smeared for it. They're told, no, you don't deserve anything because you're anti Semitic. Maybe you shouldn't have voted for Hamas. Are there really any innocent Palestinian civilians? So it's like they're constantly terrorized and then they're smeared from noon to Sunday, like constantly smeared. So, and like I said, unless you go and search for it, it's not in our mainstream media. Doesn't matter if we're talking about print media or cable TV or even a lot of quote unquote like independent news. It's all across the board, bipartisan. All of our Congress members, Israeli propaganda. Oh, I got a super chat. Thank you. Thank you, Sailor Jerry Swallow. Yeah, and so I appreciate that. I always appreciate you guys. And so like learning all of that, the combination of like learning about the Palestinian history, what they've gone through, the gaslighting that they've had to endure, the smearing that they've had to endure, the oppression that they've had to endure. And then on top of that, the lying and the terrorism and then the propaganda that we get sold every single day in the United States. Every single day in the United States, the propaganda that we're told. You have to support this or else you're a terrorist sympathizer. You have to support this or else you're anti-Semitic. All of that propaganda and all the cry bullying. And then on top of that, the power that they have, the power that that state has, the way they buy our politicians, the way they own all of our presidents, the way they spend hundreds of millions of dollars controlling who wins our elections, creating fake accounts to do propaganda online. It is a whole thing. So for somebody like me who was like pretty ignorant to it and didn't really understand how deep this went, it was like really mind-blowing. Especially since it's a unique situation that I've never seen us do with any other country. Like I've never seen the relationship that we have to the Israeli regime in any other context with any other foreign policy. Like, we don't act like this with Ukraine. Like, it's just, it's so deep. It goes so far down. And so I have, now that I know the truth, have wanted to do everything I can to let other people know the truth. And I'm talking a lot about when I share content, trying to educate people on what's happening in Gaza. I'm trying to share it for other ignorant, uneducated white people that live in America like me. Because obviously, if you're an Arab person or a Muslim person, you already know. You've known for a long time. Many people of color, well, I'm not even going to say people of color, specifically Black people, know this and have known it for a long time. So who I'm trying to speak to are like ignorant, uneducated or uninterested other white people, because I know that if I was believing it, then I know that a lot of them are too. And so I'm trying to like speak to them so that they can be de-propagandized, or whatever the term is. We should have more people like you. Oh, thank you. Love recording sounds. I really appreciate that. Thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate that. It's just, so as a result of this has come with a ton of hate from Zionists. And yeah, they're really mad. And so I get comments like this all the time from losers like this, coming out being all, oh yeah, because they're mad. They're mad that people are waking up. They're mad that people are waking up to the truth. They're mad that people are starting to see their game, because I feel like so much of this too over the years is that the Zionist lobby has really kind of gone unchecked. Like, we just accept it. Why are they allowed to influence our elections? Why is AIPAC allowed? Why aren't you having to register with the Foreign Act or whatever? I'm forgetting the name that it's called. The foreign, I forget. I'm blanking on the name right now. But there is a agency that usually, if you are a foreign entity, you have to register with. And they don't have to. Why? Russia wouldn't get away with that. China wouldn't get away with that. So why do they get to? And they get to buy our elections and buy our politicians. And I think one of the things that makes it so insidious is that it is so bipartisan. It's not like, and that's kind of like the lied to thing too. Like, with Russia and China, it's not like that at all. But with Israel, it's like just propaganda after propaganda after propaganda. Like, you have to support them. You have to support them. And FARA, thank you, JR. FARA. You have to register with FARA. And like, it's like the Foreign Something Registration Act. So what I find so interesting about it too is that no other country has been able to get away with so much lying about who they are and have America's entire apparatus cover for them. That is another aspect of this that I find so important, is that it doesn't matter what it is. There is no other country that I can think of that is a so-called ally of the United States that could get away with being such terrorists and then having our entire country's government and media apparatus run cover for them. Oh, it's a democracy. No, it ain't. Oh, they care about human rights. No, they don't. Oh, they're so like gay friendly or whatever. Like, they believe in like equal opportunity. They literally arrest children and don't give them a trial. Their soldiers are creeps and losers and rapists, okay? And yet it's all the gaslighting. No. They're our greatest ally. They're the only democracy in the Middle East. Imagine what would have happened if Russia would have banned Al Jazeera. Like, Russia, I think, did ban some outlets, and the US melted down about it. but then Israel does whatever it wants and the US covers for it. So that was another aspect of it that was extremely interested, that I was extremely interested in unpacking, was why is it that this particular foreign country can act as a full-ass terrorist state and terrorize people and abuse people, and not only do we accept it, we let it happen, we lie for them, we let them control our politics, we lie on their behalf. You see John Kirby and all those other disgusting, pathetic losers in the State Department going out being like, whenever they're asked about the atrocities that the Israeli regime is carrying out. But you don't see them act that way with Russia. It was all good for the ICC for wanting to come after Vladimir Putin, but then when they did it with Netanyahu, we're like, So it's like that relationship that the US has to Israel and the way that we like cuck ourselves for Israel and are like, Israel, please, we'll do anything for you, is like amazing to me. Amazing to me. I didn't even realize it was that bad. I had no idea it was that bad until I started learning about what was happening in Gaza. And as we all know, I should say, by this point, there is no way that if you're not a total sociopath, that you could see the unfolding genocide that's been happening in Gaza over the last 7 months and not be totally disgusted and horrified and traumatized. Like, I will never, ever look at Israel the same again. Ever. They're done. They're done. I will never look at them the same again. It's a full-ass terrorist state. Yeah, they're always very concerned. They're always very concerned. Oh, Foreign Agent Registration Act. Yeah, so it's hard. Yeah, Crimson, you're right. Trump and Biden are competing to see who gets to be Israel's next bitch. For real. And so it's just difficult to try to put that into words sometimes, because I feel like I've never had that experience with anything else, not with another country. Not with another country. I don't feel like I've ever had that experience of what would you call it, like awakening, maybe? Like, I feel like, I guess you could call it an awakening. I've just never had that experience before with any other country, nor with anything else in politics, where I felt like I had an awakening to what the reality of the situation was. Like, I felt like this was the first time that I felt like my eyes were open to something in a way I've never felt before, when it comes to politics, when it comes to foreign policy, when it comes to any other country that we work with or have invaded or whatever. Like, I've just never felt that type of, there were scales in front of my eyes and then the scales were removed, and I felt like there were scales in front of my eyes, they were removed, and I could see everything clearly for the first time. That's how it felt, and I never felt that way about anything before. And every day, I'm still learning. Obviously, it's only not even been a year. I'm still learning every single day. Every single day, I'm still learning. And my mind is continually blown, like every single day. My mind is continually blown every single day by what I read and what I see. And the more I read and the more I see, the more I am convinced that the Israeli regime is evil. It's just the whole enterprise. Thank you, Zane, for the super chat. The original anti-Semites are your... Yes, true, true. There were Zionists that were like helping during the Holocaust. Like, that is a fact. Yeah, it's... And so an accusation that I will get a lot is, what's funny is from the Zionists is they go, oh, you're just on TikTok, because I make a lot of content on TikTok, and they'll just be like, well, you just believe that because like you're on TikTok. But like what's funny is they think that because they're going to ban TikTok, that it's going to like change people understanding what's happening. That's not going to happen. We're not going back because Israel had a halo around it for a lot of years that has been upheld and protected by the United States. They've had a kind of like protection racket around it where like they were able to do a lot of propaganda and PR around their entity that made a lot of people believe it. That is gone now. So they can think that like banning TikTok is going to make everybody go back to what they were, but it's not. It's not. There's not going to be there is not going to be a time where we go back. That's what people don't even understand. Like the Zionists and stuff. We're not going back. There is no going back from this. So they can shut down TikTok all they want. They can do whatever they want. But if they think that the only reason why people feel this way is because of TikTok, they have another thing coming. Because the problem is for them is that the veil has been lifted for a lot of people. The halo has been removed. And now we see them for what they are. And by the way, so much of that they did themselves. So much of that they've done to themselves. No one forced you bitches to put your psychotic TikToks online. No one forced these lunatics to put online videos of them riding around bicycles of houses they have bombed, trying on women's lingerie, laughing about the fact that they destroyed a university. No one forced them to do that. They did that themselves proudly. So they've also contributed to the crumbling of their own reputation. Like, no one forced you to put online that you sick son of bitch settlers are blocking aid from going into Gaza. No one forced you guys to do that. No one forced you to leak screenshots of you demons sitting in a WhatsApp group laughing about blown up children. You did that to yourself. So you can have yourselves to thank for the fact that people view you this way. It's amazing. It's amazing. But, cry bullying all day, every day. Always cry bullying. TikTok is still running in the US. Did you know that Meta shut down a Zio bot farm for posing? No, JT, I did not know that. That's amazing. That's amazing. Of course they did. I'm actually surprised. It's not surprising to me that a Zio bot farm would do that and pose as like Jewish and Black students. What surprises me is that Meta took it down. That surprises me. Alternative views force people to go less. Yeah, that is absolutely insane. That's insane. Oh yeah, they're just like bipartisan evil. Oh, hey, old bony bird. Yeah, I haven't seen you on Twitter for about a month. I can't find your account. That's because Twitter is shadow banning me. That's because Twitter's shadow banning me. They just like Elon Musk and his bullshit, like, oh, I believe in free speech. He's always shadow banning anti-Zionist accounts. And it's very clear that my account is very anti-Zionist, so he's always suppressing it. All the time. Like that does not surprise me. That's how they be. Because they mad that the truth is coming out. I'm trying to see if Meta shuts down Zionist bot farm. Is there an article for this? Wait, what? Meta shuts down Israeli network pushing AI generated propaganda. Amazing. 510 Facebook accounts, 11 pages in one group, 32 Instagram accounts. Wow. I also like how they try to throw that in there. We also took down our Iranian account, like trying to like cover their ass. Of Facebook and Instagram accounts that operated from Israel and launched an influence campaign targeting users in the US, according to the company's quarterly threat report. Meta also said that it took down an Iranian targeting users in Israel. The Israeli network included 510 Facebook accounts, 11 pages, one group, and 32 Instagram accounts. Meta said that it took the network down early in the audience building efforts, sure, Jan, before it was able to generate activity among authentic communities. The network had fewer than 500 followers on Facebook and fewer than 100 group members, about 2,000 Instagram followers. Yeah, but you know what's, is that it? Really? Oh, wait, no, sorry, read more. Meta noted that the network operators used fake or stolen accounts with many identified. By the way, sorry, pause there. So when Meta's like, oh, but we took it down. Don't worry, we took it down. It didn't have that many followers. You think that's the only one? You think that's the only one? All Israel does is lie. All they do is create propaganda because no one actually sides with them IRL when they think about it. That's why when people are like, oh, the Hamas influence or like whatever, like you think like Hamas members are sitting around like trying to create network, like get the fuck out of here. There is no pro-Palestinian lobby. Like that's not a thing. Israel has billions of dollars that they put in to propaganda, influence campaigns, and PR. So does Meta think that was the only one? It was just a one and done and they got rid of it? No. This is just further proof. This is one of their many, probably hundreds, if not thousands. That's why anytime you see somebody being like, oh, well, these people support Israel, like, understand that a lot of the times it's like fake. Like, oh yeah, Michael. It's yeah, I mean, but they do, even if yeah, the people who talk about Pollywood or like Pallywood, like saying like that there's Palestinian actors or whatever, those people are actually demons. Actually demons. It's also projection because with Israel, every accusation is a confession. So they do that. Remember the woman that dressed up as a fake nurse with like fake bomb noises in the background to talk about Hamas being in the hospital, which they never had any evidence of? Yeah. So that's projection on their part because they know that they make up shit and do like pretend actors or whatever. So they accuse Palestinians of doing that. It's just so insane. Did you see the plus 192 in the Guardian article about Mossad's threats and bribes yet? I did. I actually, I didn't read the Guardian article, but I should. Yeah, and they stormed hospitals dressed as doctors. That is what they do. Like, they'll be like, human shields. No, you guys use people as human shields. Like, let's not get it twisted. Yeah, they constantly accuse people of what they do. All right, let's go back to this. Yeah, see, Meta's automated system. Meta noted that the network operators use fake or stolen accounts with many identified and neutralized by Meta's automated system. Despite the removal of the accounts, the operators continued adding new ones apparently purchased from account farms. So as fast as Meta is taking it down, they're adding more. The campaign also bought likes and followers from Vietnam to create a false impression of popularity. Meta said that the network responded on Facebook pages of international and local media organizations and public figures and politicians, including U.S. lawmakers. The responses included links to the network's websites and sometimes received critical responses from authentic group users who called them propaganda. Meta said it estimated that some of the responses were created using artificial intelligence. Jeez. Several examples across these networks of how to use generative AI tooling to create content. Perhaps it gives them the ability to do it quicker or to do that with more volume. But it hasn't really impacted our ability to detect them, said Meta head of threat investigation. The network accounts impersonated local users in target countries, including Jewish students and concerned African American citizens. They mainly posted in English about the Israel-Hamas war, genocide, calling for the release of hostages, praising Israel's military actions, and criticizing anti-Semitism on campuses, UNRWA, and Muslims, while claiming that radical Islam threatens Canada's liberal values. Oh my gosh. Meta identified the operator of the network as STOIC, a Tel Aviv-based company specializing in political marketing and business intelligence. Amazing. Meta has blocked Stoic from its platforms and sent a letter demanding a cease of any activity that violates Meta's policy. Wow, this is amazing. Oh my gosh. It's just really funny because it's everything that you think it is. It's everything that you think it is. Israeli companies using their advanced tech and AI to create false accounts and groups with false AI generated responses to pretend that they're really concerned citizens. Like, just think about that, guys. So much of what you see on these platforms are like fake Israeli bots. And yet, TikTok and Twitter and all of them, Instagram, all of them, Meta, will go after real people who are just advocating for Palestinian humanity. They'll go after real, everyday folks that are just talking about what is happening in Gaza. It's insane. Simultaneously, Meta removed an Iranian network targeting users in Israel. This network included 22 accounts, 8 pages, 8 Facebook groups, and 23 Instagram accounts. It had broader influence than the Israeli network with 900 followers on the Facebook page. Oh my gosh, I love the way the framing of this is so skewed. It's like they're trying to like not piss off Israel by being like, "Don't worry, Israel. We targeted an Iranian backed one." This is such both sidesism. Like, this is literally both sides routine. It's like, don't worry, guys. I know that you're probably upset that we targeted this Israeli account, but we did it to Iran too. But Hamas. Like, literally. Oh my gosh. Publication focused on news and current events, including Hamas in support of Israel. One group pretended to be right-wing supporters. After the October 7th attack, this group shifted to supporting far-right policies by Itamar Ben-Gvir while criticizing Netanyahu's response. Young Israeli women promoting protests against their government, and liberal Israelis posting LGBTQ content. Bro, there's no such thing as like a liberal Israeli. Like, get out of here. When they're like, oh, or a liberal Zionist, like that's not a thing. That's like saying like, that's like saying like, I can't even think of it. I can't even think of something to say, but it's like being like, they're an anti-racist KKK member. Like that's not a thing. Wait, who started their own network? Hmm. Yeah, a liberal conservative. Like, yeah, that's not a thing. This is crazy. Not surprising, but still crazy. That's why, like, we have to be so careful and aware because of the information wars. That's why it always like annoys me when people will be like, making content or talking about the truth doesn't matter. It's like, yeah, it does. If you don't think it matters, you are naive. Israel would not invest billions of dollars into paying propagandists, doing paid propaganda through these bot networks and through our mainstream media. They wouldn't be spending billions of dollars on buying Congress people if information warfare was not so important. They spend this money because they understand how important information wars are. That's why it's so important that not only are we careful about what we're reading, and when we see these Ziobots to like recognize that they're Ziobots, or when we see these paid Israeli propagandist influencers, that we recognize that they're paid, and that we all continue to spread the information that is true and push back on this propaganda. No, I didn't see that old bony bird. I don't know what you're referring to. Oh my gosh, did you guys see? And so much of the propaganda comes from our own supposedly trusted corporate mainstream media. You know, did you guys see the meltdown of like Joe Scarborough, you know, claiming that Joe Scarborough claiming that what was happening at the college campuses was being funded by Hamas and shadowy Iranian groups. Like he was literally like saying it for real, for real. And then there was an investigation and it turned out it was actually a Jewish American. Like embarrassing. But are you going to get an apology from him? Absolutely not. Are you going to get a correction from him? Absolutely not. So he goes on his shitty morning show of bullshit boomer agitprop and goes, I think that there's some nefarious stuff happening behind those college protests. I think it might be Hamas or Iran. And then it comes out that that was made up and it was a lie and it was actually a Jewish American family. And are you going to hear retraction for that? From our so-called guardians of democracy? From our so-called trusted news sources? Absolutely not. Of course not. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yes. I want to like, did you guys see? Would you did you guys see the embarrassing guy that was like, forgetting his name? Why am I blanking? Oh, I'm having like, I'm feeling out of it. And you know what it is? I'm struggling, guys, because I'm feeling super depressed today that my the medication that I'm taking to try to help me quit smoking was not really like working today. And that like really bummed me out. My ringtone. Wait, me, Panther, are you being serious? Did you really make it your ringtone? Because if you did, that is amazing. That is the most amazing thing. Edward Herman, no Trumpsy. Oh yeah, I've read Manufacturing Consent, but it was a long time ago, and I feel like I maybe. Oh my gosh, me Panther, that is so amazing. That's so amazing. I love that. Um. No, I think I said blanking. No, this is like the reason why I'm getting discouraged is because this is like the 50th time I've tried, and I've tried all these other things that didn't work. So I felt like, starting this medication, I felt like it was working a little bit, but then since I've been home, it really hasn't been working, and I've still been having that compulsion to smoke constantly, and I just feel discouraged because it's like I feel like this was like the last thing I haven't tried is this medication, and I don't even know if it's not working. Maybe it will still work. Like it's like a 12-week thing. I'm only on like week 4 or something. And it's not that it's not helping at all, but I'm just like, I don't know. I wanted to like actually help with everything else that I've tried. Yeah, Old Bony Bird. I'm on Chantix. That was the one I started. I didn't want to go on Chantix. just because I already have a lot of other mental health issues and I didn't want for it to interfere with other mental health issues I was already dealing with. But um yeah, unfortunately Muhammad, it has like the opposite effect on me. Like when I think about things that are extremely upsetting to me, it makes me do it even more. So, yeah, it's hard. It's hard. There are people that are being supportive, but it's difficult. I've been smoking for a really, really long time and it's just hard. It's just hard. I've tried like hypnosis, I've tried like vaping, I read books. It's just difficult. And I think I'm not giving up on Chantix either. I think that there is a good chance that it will work. Like I said, I'm only on my I'm only on like week 4. So I'm still believing that like I can do this and that the medication will help. I think I just felt discouraged because I felt like I was making progress. There was like a couple days where I felt like it was like helping a little bit, and then I came back home from my being with my sister, and all of a sudden it was like all of it was back, and I just feel discouraged. You know what I mean? Like I feel discouraged using vaping. That's what I want to feel, Jamul I want to feel that. I want to feel that freedom. Yeah. Yeah. Totally. Um yeah, exactly. Andrew, it can, and that's why it's difficult. Yeah. Yeah, it's really hard. I feel like yeah, Helena, that's what people don't understand. I feel like people who've never smoked, they don't understand like actually how emotional it is for us. People don't get that. Yeah. And I tried the patches and I tried the gum, like it didn't help. If anything, I felt like the patches and the gum made it worse because I'd be doing it or have it on and then I would be like, this sucks. Like I just want like an actual cigarette. Like yeah, that's what I want. I just want the freedom. I'm tired of feeling like I just can't function without it, and it makes me miserable, but then I can't function without it. It's something I don't really like to talk about too, really that much because people are super judgmental about it. You know what I mean? Like in a way where they're not about other things. I'm an alcoholic. I've been in recovery for almost 10 years. My anniversary is going to be in July, my 10-year anniversary from alcohol. And people have been judgmental about that, but I feel like there's been nothing in my life that people were as judgmental about than smoking. It's been probably so I don't even like to talk about it that much because there are always people who are just jerks. You know what I mean? Jerks, unempathetic, super judgmental, just like in a way that I just haven't really experienced with other things. So, um sober 18 years, I used the steps to stop smoking. Huh. That's really interesting. I never thought about that. Yeah. Good for you, Rotten Ruby, 4 years sober. That's amazing. I didn't realize I had so many sober people here. That's wonderful. Yeah. Well, congratulations to you guys. And I hold no judgment ever toward anyone because I know what it's like to be an addict. I know what it's like to be an alcoholic. I know what it's like to be a smoker. I know what it's like to have issues with food. And so it's like people are just so judgmental. Yeah, it is. It is hard not to self-medicate. It really is. When is my birthday? My birthday is November 10th. I am a Scorpio, even though I don't believe in astrology, but if I did, I'm a Scorpio. But I try to tell myself that, like, I can do this because if I could get sober, then I can do this because getting sober was one of the hardest things that I ever did. It was very, very difficult. So, yeah. So, anyway, that's just kind of where I am at personally. And honestly, I feel bad even talking about it. I really do because I understand. I'm thinking about, um, I'm thinking about the people of Gaza all the time. I'm thinking about the people in Palestine all the time. And it really does make me feel bad when I get upset and I'm struggling with something like I was today, where I was feeling really down about smoking. And I was feeling really down about the fact that, like, I've been on Chantix for 4 weeks now, and there will still be time for it to work. But I was like getting down on myself, like, oh, well, why was it working when I was out of state? Or I felt like it was starting to work when I was out of state, but it's not working now. And why did I feel like it was like helping out of state? And now I feel like I'm back to my old patterns now that I'm home. And I feel like now that I'm back in my comfort zone in my home, I'm getting back into those old smoking patterns even worse and just feeling really down. But then I feel guilty for feeling that way because I think, bitch, you're not going through shit. People in Gaza don't have food. People in Gaza don't have water. People in Gaza are getting bombed constantly. And you're upset that you're struggling with quitting smoking. Like, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. like, um, wait, did Trump get found guilty? Thank you guys for encouraging me. I appreciate you all so much. You're all so, like, great. I love you guys encouraging me. Wait a second. Did Trump get convicted? Thank you, Jones. Absalom Jones. Hmm. Andrew, that's amazing. Congratulations on being clean. That's incredible. Jury is about to give a verdict. Oh, they haven't yet? Is there a way we can watch it live? Hold on. YouTube. Let's see if we can watch it live. What? Why am I not signed into YouTube, bitch? like, what? Are you being for real right now, Google? Like, why do I have to do this? This is so stupid. Ugh. What? Are you being for real right now? I don't want to do this way. Come on. Okay, so then let me go to YouTube. What? What the fuck is happening? All right, where Trump trial live. Oh shit. He was convicted on all charges. LMAO. Oh, that's really funny. That's really funny. Oh my gosh, you guys, the copium though from the right wing. The copium from the right wing though. Yeah, they're just so crazy. It's gonna be so much copium from the right wing. Because you know what they do, and we all know that they do this. I'm gonna mute this really quick, or at least turn it down. I'll mute it. Okay, but this is the thing with Trump supporters. No man with he can still run, but he was convicted. Um, but here's the copium that's going to be with the right wing. Whenever they're mad that something doesn't go their way, they will say, "Oh, it was rigged. Oh, the judge was biased. Oh, the jury was biased. Oh, this and that." You guys remember how, and I know I don't talk about Trump that much because I've been mostly talking about foreign policy, but and Gaza, but I don't know if any of you guys saw this, but a bunch of his loser lackeys from Congress came up to go to the courthouse so they could kiss the ring. Like, so embarrassing. In the courthouse so that they could kiss the ring and go, "Trump is not guilty. This court is a sham." And what they were trying to do was the same people that say they care about the rule of law, those people, all those things, all those people that talk about claiming to care about the rule of law and all that shit, they don't care about the rule of law. They want to undermine it. They want to undermine it. None of those Republicans or none of the Trump supporters actually care about the rule of law. Remember that. Remember that. None of these conservatives, Trump, the supporters, the congressmen, none of them care about the rule of law. All they care about is getting their authoritarian dictator in office. That's all they care about. They don't know. They not only don't care about the rule of law, they don't care if the rule of law is diminished by their actions. They don't care about the rule of law or if it gets destroyed by their actions. All they care about is getting their dictator. A lot of people are asking if he can still run. He can. This does not preclude him from being able to run for office. Someone said, I can't find it now. Someone said, do you really have faith in our justice system? No, not necessarily, but not everything is that black and white. There are a bunch of people who, get convicted wrongly, and there's all kind of chicanery in the system, but there are some times where people get convicted and it's right. Like, it's not about Kool-Aid. It's about look at the facts. Like, this guy is corrupt as fuck. You have to be in a cult not to understand how ridiculously over the top guilty he is. Trump supporters are like, you know what Trump supporters are like? They're like Zionists. Like, it doesn't matter if you tell them, here's the truth and it's right in front of your face. They'll just go, don't believe your lying eyes. Fake news. It's like the same shit the Zionists do. Like, Michael Cohen being a piece of shit doesn't mean that he is lying about being Trump's piece of shit. Let's not forget, you guys, that Michael Cohen did so much for him and was a part of the Trump cult. So, like, the idea that Michael Cohen would be an unreliable witness when he was like besties with him and running and carrying his water all the time is not really that shocking. Also, it's not going to matter. So if you're upset that Trump got convicted, it's really not going to matter. He's not going to go to jail. No, it's not what it means. And Michael Cohen is not the only person that testified. You're ignoring the testimony from like David Weisselberg and the other people that ran his creepy ass publication. He's still being a weasel. Justin, if you think that Michael Cohen is a dishonest weasel, maybe you should ask yourself why he worked for like the head dishonest weasel. Like, I just think it's funny that people are just so quick to believe Trump's lies. And you guys act like he's some victim of the system when he has every privilege in the world. In fact, you're right. Our judicial system is not fair because if it was fair, his ass would have been in jail. His ass would have been in jail. He should have been in jail awaiting trial. You think a not rich person wouldn't have been in jail awaiting trial? This clown has gotten so many privileges because of his wealth and his fame. He won't see a day in jail. He won't see a day in jail. Here's what's going to happen. He's going to appeal it. He will get to stay out of jail on appeal, and then he might win the election and he'll just throw it out. I mean, it's a state charge, so he may not be able to pardon himself from the state charge, but the idea, like, it is laughable when people are like, Trump is treated so unfairly. This guy literally gets so many breaks and privileges because of who he is. You think if a regular person was sitting in a courtroom breaking their gag order over and over and over again, that their ass wouldn't be in jail? Of course they would. But he didn't go to jail because he's Trump and he's privileged. Yeah, honestly, like the gullible moments is just, and by the way, for all the people that love to be like, Trump is different, Trump is just, Trump is a filthy Zionist. Trump is a pathetic Zionist that did exactly what Sheldon Adelson told him to do. Sheldon Adelson told him to move the embassy to Jerusalem. He did. Sheldon Adelson jumped. Trump said, how high? He's a piece of shit Zionist too.
It was a disgrace. This was a rigged trial by
See, it's the same shit over and over again. It's rigged. It's a disgrace.
It's a rigged
It's
trial,
over and over
disgrace. They wouldn't give us a venue change. We were at 5% or 6% in this district, in this area.
Make up your mind, bro. That's the other thing that they love to do to try to undermine the judicial system is they'll say, oh, well, it was in New York. That's unfair. But Playboy, you were just bragging about how you had all these fans in New York, right? He just had a rally in the Bronx where he was bragging about how he had all these fans in New York, the silent majority. So why does he assume that all of these New Yorkers are liberals? Like the endless victim complex is just so amazing. And it's the same shit over and over again. It's rigged. It's this. It's like, I'm sorry, I'm going to need anybody who wants to defend Trump, miss me with the he's a victim. That energy is the same shit the Zionists do. Try to make themselves victims. You're not a victim, boo. Like, it's amazing.
Disgraceful trial. The real verdict is going to be November 5th by the people. And they know what happened here, and everybody knows what happened here.
I love how he always says everybody knows. People are saying, everyone knows.
I'm a very innocent man, and it's okay. I'm fighting for our country. I'm fighting for our Constitution. Our whole country is being rigged right now. This was done by the Biden administration in order to wound or hurt an opponent.
No, this is another perfect example of when they say, oh, no, this is Biden coming after him. No, you know what the problem was? That the DOJ didn't go after him sooner. That, again, was the privilege that comes when being Trump. His ass should have been indicted right after January 6th. Right after. He should have been indicted. The problem was not that they indicted him. The problem was that they waited 2 years to do it. That's why. And they did because the Democrats are losers and cowards. And they were afraid of getting political blowback. They were afraid of holding him accountable and indicting him because they were afraid of his rabid, psychotic base. That is the only thing. That is the only reason. Yeah, exactly, this stuff. Everybody likes to forget when they're trying to simp for Trump that his psychotic Zionist son-in-law, who said that he would love to steal property in Gaza and turn it into beachfront properties, did everything that Israel wanted him to do and then made a deal with the Saudis as soon as he left office. But Trump supporters don't like to talk about that. That's inconvenient. They love to talk about Hunter Biden's penis and, Ukraine corruption with Biden. But the second you want to talk about Jared Kushner in Saudi Arabia, all of a sudden they are no longer interested in underlying corruption. Like, please. I'm so tired of, like, genuinely, like, a lot of my energy is going to Israel right now, but, like, I'm genuinely, one of the reasons why I don't talk about Trump as much is because I'm so tired of the Trump sims. The same old, it's the same old, same old. They don't care about facts. They don't care about principles. They don't care about the truth. They just repeat the same regurgitated talking points over and over again. And honestly, it's tired. I'm over it. He's not ever going to go to jail anyway.
Political opponent. And I think it's just a disgrace.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll keep fighting. We'll fight till the end and we'll win. Because our country's gone to hell. We don't have the same country anymore. We have a divided mess. We're a nation in decline.
Yes, bitch, we are a nation in decline. And one of the reasons why our country's gone to hell and in decline is because of motherfuckers like you, okay? That's one of the reasons. He doesn't care. He doesn't care that our country is corrupt. He just wants the corruption to be on his side. Yeah, our country is corrupt and our country is falling apart. But they don't care about that. He doesn't care about that. He wants the Supreme Court to be corrupt. He just wants it to be corrupt in his favor. He wants our campaign finance laws to be corrupt. He just wants them to be corrupt in his favor. They don't care about the corruption at all. That's why, if you all remember, the only thing he did while he was in office legislatively was passing tax cuts for the rich and corporations. That's the only thing he did. Yeah, you're right, 1H Blues. Netanyahu used to sleep in Jared Kushner's childhood bedroom. Okay?
Decline, serious decline. Millions and millions of people pouring into our country right now.
What does that have to do with anything?
From mental institutions, terrorists.
Again, more fear-mongering about illegal immigration. Like, it's also so fucking tired. Like, I am not worried about some person coming in from Venezuela because they're desperately trying to get a job somewhere. Like, no, you know what I'm worried about? I'm worried about billionaires. I'm worried about Zionists. I'm worried about them stealing our elections. I'm worried about them affecting our Supreme Court, which they do. You want to talk about illegitimate institutions? You want to talk about illegitimate institutions. The Supreme Court has thoroughly made itself an illegitimate institution. I'm worried about billionaires and private equity firms buying up all the houses so any of us who ever wanted to buy a house will never get to have one. I'm worried about them criminalizing homelessness so they can make us all permanent renters. But no. We're supposed to be concerned about supposed terrorists coming in from the southern border. Like, be so fucking for real.
Taking over our country. We have a country that's in big trouble.
Yeah, me Panther. Trillions and trillions. I love you, reactionary.
With a conflicted judge who should have never been allowed to try this case. Never.
I hope the judge sues him for like defamation.
This is long from over. Thank you very much.
Why should voters vote for it when they can tell them?
That's really funny. Whoever shouted that question, that was just a funny troll because they're like, why should voters vote for a criminal? Excuse me, sir, why should voters vote for a criminal with fake hair? That's amazing. No, I guess that's it. It's also like they pretend to care about the rule of law, but then they're undermining the jurors. Like, but they won't undermine the Supreme Court. They like the Supreme Court because there's a bunch of psychotic right-wing zealots on the Supreme Court. Like Alito. Did you guys hear about that? Alito having the upside down flag in his yard like a lunatic. And then when he got caught, he blamed his wife. He threw his wife under the bus. Yeah, right, Crimson. Biden's like, and also like people don't understand that like two things can be true at once. Like this doesn't mean that Biden isn't trash. Like we know Biden is trash, but let's not pretend that just because Biden is trash, that Trump isn't a criminal. Like, yeah, I did reactionary. Him getting booted the Libertarian Convention. I thought that was pretty funny. Yeah, the old Ted Cruz defense. Oh, You guys, speaking of which, I don't know if there is somebody in Congress that I hate as much as I hate Ted Cruz. Like, I just hate how smarmy Ted Cruz is and how fake he is and how, like, he pretends to do, like, the working class shtick. It's like, and he, like, doesn't even work. He's, like, a full-time podcaster that sometimes goes to the Senate. The stuff, have I decided who I'm voting for? No, I have not. I don't know. Because if I'm, like, really being genuinely, like, the way that I struggle, and I'm really struggling with it, it is fear of basically what kind of harm I'm going to cause with my vote. Because I know that Biden is garbage, and he has shown that he is totally behind the genocide in Gaza. But I also know that Trump is a trash Zionist too, and that he recently said in an article that he was interviewed in that he would deport Muslims, he would deport Palestinian activists, and that he was going to set the movement back by 30 years. Trump is a demon and a Zionist and will be brutal to the Palestinians. But it's like pick your war criminal. Like, so we can either pick Biden, who's a war criminal, who's done nothing but prop up and fund this genocide and cheerlead it, or we get Trump, who's also a war criminal and a Zionist, and will prop up this genocide and cheer it on. And the reason why I feel conflicted about it is because I am so angry about the way that Biden has handled this that I want to punish him. Oh, you're right, Skibby. It was at a fundraiser for primarily Jewish rich donors. It is. So there's a part of me that, like, I want to punish Biden. I want Biden to lose because I want him to suffer consequences for his actions, for the fact that he has been brutal to the Palestinians, and for the fact that he has not listened to us. We have been screaming. We have been protesting. We have been boycotting. He knows exactly how the public feels. He doesn't care. So I feel like he should be punished for that. At the very same time, I struggle because I don't want to hurt other people in this country. And I know that there are people that get mad about that, but I'm not going to lie and act like I'm not struggling with it because I don't want to hurt people in this country. I don't want to hurt Black people and people of color and queer people and trans people and women and people who can get pregnant because I know that these vicious fascists, that is what they are. They are vicious fascists. I know what they want to do when they get back in power if Trump wins. And they are really going to hurt not only all the groups that I just mentioned, they're going to hurt a ton of workers. A ton of workers. Because there has been a resurgence of unions in this country. Trump was insanely anti-union, insanely anti-worker. You know, you hear all his bullshit like, oh, I'm pro-worker, blah, 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 my hard hat. But his NLRB was garbage and he attacked workers. So it's me, Panther. Biden doesn't care about any of those groups of people. Yeah, you're right. I don't think he does either. But if you look at what Trump and the Republican Party want to do, they want to actively make shit worse. They want to actively make life more unbearable for queer people. They want to actively make life more unbearable for working class people and poor people. Trump promised he was going to cut more taxes for the rich. He promised they were going to cut more regulations to poison our planet and our water. They want to make life more unbearable for people who can get pregnant by passing draconian abortion laws. So it's very stressful because also we don't even live in a democracy. Because if we were in a democracy, why are these our choices? Like, I feel like our democracy is already gone Because if we really lived in a democracy, then why are these our only choices? Why am I being forced to choose between these two monsters? I'm not, JR, I'm actually not in a swing state, so it kind of is irrelevant, honestly, for me, because my state's going to vote for Biden regardless. I live in New York, so New York is a blue state. They're going to go blue. But, you know, I still believe in voting. I still think voting is important, especially on the local level, for our Congress people. Like, those things are very important. When it comes to president, I think that, you know, I still believe in voting, but honestly, like, yeah, my vote is not going to have as big of an impact as somebody who's living in Michigan. Because for those of you who don't live in the United States, Skibby, I voted for Jill Stein in 2016 too, and got raked over the coals for it by psychotic, like, Hillary Clinton supporters. But the thing is that when it comes to, and another right wing, you know, Trump administration would be more right wing judges on the Supreme Court. So it's, you know, on the one hand, I feel like I do want to say fuck you to Joe Biden and vote against him, because I also know that, you know, I am fully aware of the fact that our country is incredibly corrupt. Like, they all, to some degree, work for the same team. It's just a matter of how much worse are they? Like, that's kind of how I feel about it. Like, they're all plutocrats. They're all oligarchs. They're all simps to corporations in the 1%. They all want to give tax cuts to the rich. They all want to screw workers. They all want to make sure we can't buy a house. It's a matter of degrees of, like, okay, would this harm other people in our own country even more than how Biden is hurting them now? Which, again, is a very stressful thing to think, because it's like, you're screwed no matter what. Your options are shitty no matter what. Oh, so I can either vote for Trump, who is an actual open fascist who wants to turn this country into a full-on fascist state, or I can vote for Biden, who pays lip service to, like, marginalized communities, but, like, is funding and propping up the genocide in Gaza. How is that a choice? How is that a choice? Oh, reactionary, thank you. It's just really stressful, because I fear hurting people, you know? And like I said, I feel that rage. I can't stand Biden. I want Biden to lose. I want him to pay for what he's done. And then on the other hand, I think about what Trump would do in regards to Gaza. And I don't say that in, like, a fear-mongering way, like, oh, well, Trump would be worse. Because, like, how could it get worse than it is now? But I also, so it's not to, like, be like fear-mongering. It's just to look at the reality of the situation and look at what Trump's policies were toward Israel when he was in office, and his psychotic son-in-law. And then the way that they would also affect domestic policy scares me. But it also makes me angry, because it makes me think, like, why am I in this position? Why? Why are my only choices a genocidal piece of shit old man who's on the verge of death, who doesn't care what we have to say, and doesn't listen to our protests, or the actual fascists? Like, why are those the choices? You call this a democracy? Like, please. So, you know, honestly, like, my honest answer is I vacillate. Like, I go back and forth. Like, that's how I feel. Like, when it comes to, like, voting on the presidential level in November, I vacillate between, depending on the day and what I see. So, like, I'll see a story about how the right wing in Kentucky is making homelessness illegal, are going to arrest people and make them do forced slave labor in prisons, and they want to bring that to the national stage. I see a story like that, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I can't vote. I have to make sure Trump doesn't win. I should vote for Biden to at least just prevent that, to lessen that harm. And then I open my phone and I go on Twitter and I see a picture of a blown up Palestinian baby's head. And I think, fuck Joe Biden. Fuck Joe Biden. He needs to lose. Like, so I go back and forth, you know, but it's hard to, like, discuss this in any nuanced way, because, like, you know, a lot of people get really, really mad about it on either side, you know, like, which I understand. Reactionary, there's a Grace Blakely. I know, she's always stealing my thunder in the Google searches. But it's hard to talk about because people feel very passionately one way or another, and there's no way that you can try to talk about this and just be honest about your feelings without people like attacking you or getting really mad. Which again, I understand the anger. I do. Like, it's a very emotional, serious topic. But for that reason, it makes it difficult to talk about because you're going to polarize people no matter what you say. That's true, Jazz. Yeah, and sometimes, like, that's why I said I vacillate. Sometimes I have days where I'm like, fuck it. Let it burn. Let it burn. This country is a joke. Like, it's bullshit. The whole thing is a scam. It's an oligarchy. We don't live in a representative democracy. We don't live in a democratic state. The income inequality in this country is out of fucking control. Our politicians don't listen to us. They're all bought, paid for, and bribed by corporations and the billionaire class and the Zionist lobby. Our Supreme Court is a joke. So let it burn. If anything, we should just take the mask off. Like, let the mask come off so that we stop pretending that we live in this democracy. And I feel that way often. But then, like I said, I'll see stories where a little girl was forced against her will to carry a pregnancy to term, or the story about the homelessness, or stories about how they want to implement Project 2025 to make people who are poor in this country's life even more miserable. And then I think, oh my gosh, like, we have to do everything we can to try to slow that down. But it's like a back and forth, you know? It's it keeps me up at night. Yeah. But I hear you. I don't get mad at people. Oh, thanks, Mo Sand. People get super chats going for Blakely. My payment is still being verified. I appreciate you. No, I know, me Panther. I hear you. I hear you. Like, I'm not. I hear you. They didn't. They don't care. They all hate us. Like, they literally hate us. They don't care about what we say. They don't care about what we think. And I totally hear your perspective, and I feel your perspective much of the time. I'm just telling you why, for me, it has been a struggle. If I do vote third party, I would vote for Jill Stein again. But I do not envy people living in swing states. I am glad, going back to the Trump thing, that he got convicted, though, because even though we know that because he's rich, he's not going to see a day of the inside of a jail cell, I still think it's good that he was convicted because he's a criminal. So, like, you know, I'm tired of people in this country who are rich getting away with shit. It's so tired. They've made it our Supreme Court and our government is so corrupt that they've made it even harder and harder and harder to get charged with corruption. That's why you don't really see rich people ever going to jail, because they've loosened the law so much so to where it's really hard to get caught in corruption. Like, they make it so that you almost have to have a, hello, sir, here is a bag of money with a dollar sign on it for a quid pro quo. Like, it's ridiculous, like, the way they've loosened laws around corruption in this country. And the reason why they do that is because they don't want the rich getting held accountable. They don't like seeing rich people go to jail. They don't want to see rich people go to jail. So what do you do if you're really, really rich and powerful and you don't want to see rich people go to jail? What do? You change the laws. What do? You change the laws. So they have changed the laws as such to where it is now very difficult for a rich person to even see a conviction. So I'm happy that he at least got convicted, and he deserved it. It's not, I'm glad he got convicted because I hate Trump. It's, no, I'm glad he got convicted because he's a fucking criminal, and criminals should be convicted. They should be held accountable. They shouldn't get away with shit just because they're rich. Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. It's pretty funny that he got convicted, though. Oh, hold on one sec. My dog's crying. BRB.
You mind if I go in there?
I'm still on my live.
Oh, my phone's in there.
Oh, shit. Yeah, go and grab it.
Okay.
Sorry, baby.
Shh.
Bros, this is like my 20th cup of coffee today. It's like my 20th cup. I've been trying to make espresso. My espresso machine is not that great though, but I've had a lot. All right, let me catch up on some comments. Hey, Mohammed. So we should just like Katniss Everdeen it all. I'm trying to tap the screen and nothing happens. Oh. Yeah, my oh hey Ilias. What happened with Robert De Niro? Oh, I could look at that. Yeah. The other thing I was gonna say though, oh my gosh, my hair though. My hair is really, really, really getting on my nerves, but I haven't been able to afford to get a haircut yet. So I haven't gotten a haircut because I don't have the money to get the haircut. But so now my hair keeps falling like that, and it's like really annoying. Yeah, Hisham, but Coke has caffeine in it too. Yeah. Yes. I feel like honestly, I just feel like I have to accept that part because like this is part of like me being an addict, I feel like. Like I always overdo things that I love. You know what I mean? Like I'm the same way when it comes to cigarettes and alcohol and candy. Oh, somebody wrote him, is that your hubby? Yeah, that was my husband. He like came in to like get his phone. Because I usually ask him to stay out. I used to be addicted to Mountain Dew, guys. Like it was bad. I was addicted to Mountain Dew. I tried e-cigs, but I don't know. It just didn't give me the same thrill. I don't know. I don't know. It didn't have the same effect. Okay, what was the other clip that you guys wanted to watch? Yeah, Mohammed, Mountain Dew is really bad for your teeth. In fact, I lost 2 by the time I was 19 from drinking Mountain Dew. One actually cracked in my mouth and fell apart. That's actually how I started drinking coffee. was because I needed something that had caffeine that wasn't going to destroy my teeth in the same way that Mountain Dew was. Oh yeah, you guys want to watch the Robert De Niro thing? I haven't even seen the Robert De Niro thing, so I'm watching it for the first time with you guys.
This is my neighborhood, downtown New York City.
Is this
I
it?
grew up here and feel at home in these streets. I feel comfortable.
Is this it, guys? The clip?
The Twin Towers fell just over here, just over there. This part of the city was like a ghost town. But we vowed we would not allow terrorists to
Okay.
change our way of life. And we started the Tribeca Festival to bring people back. I love this city. I love this city. I don't want to destroy it. Donald Trump wants to destroy not only the city, but the country, and eventually he could destroy the world. But we vow.
Okay, what I do like about it though is that you can hear people saying fuck Joe Biden in the background, like Palestinian protesters. Oh, that's really funny. But I feel Robert De Niro there because I love New York. I love New York. Jazz, I hear you. He lives in fucking gentrified Tribeca. Yeah, I get that. And I see what you're saying, but New York is a beautiful city. It's an amazing city. There's so many different parts to New York and I love it.
We would not allow terrorists. I owe this city a lot. And that's why it's so weird that Donald Trump is just across the street. Because he doesn't belong in my city. I don't know where he belongs.
Yeah.
But he surely doesn't belong here. We New Yorkers used to tolerate him when he was just another grubby real estate hustler masquerading as a big shot. A two-bit playboy lying his way into the tabloids, pretending to be a spokesperson for himself. He was calling it as himself for himself, to fool the press into inflating his net worth. A clown. But this city is
He
pretty
is a clown.
accommodating. We make room for clowns. We have them all over
Thank
the
you,
city. People
O'Day.
do crazy things in the street. We tolerate it. It's part of
Thank
the
you.
city. It's part of the culture. But not a person like Trump who will eventually run the country. That does not work, and we all know that. Anyway, we make room for clowns, to each his own. But no one takes him or took him really seriously. They take him seriously now, of course. But around the country,
I just like that you could hear all the protesters in the background.
we did, started to support him. They bought into his bullshit. Trump bought their votes with outrageous lies and empty promises. He got the most religious evangelicals to applaud.
The thing is, too, about this,
who bragged about sexual assault, and who just a couple.
I'm going to speed it up because he's talking too slow. But the thing that the coldest cold read ever. Yeah, the thing about it is it's like right message, wrong messenger. Like apparently, this is what I heard. I don't know if this is true. One of you guys can fact check it for me. But apparently, the Biden administration wanted Robert De Niro to go out and do this, which is so embarrassing and tone deaf because he's not the right messenger for this. They need to get somebody else because he's too like, oh, sorry, O'Day. Please give us like a 2-day notice before the live. Honestly, I usually want to, but the reason why I didn't today is because I actually wasn't planning on doing one today. I was telling everybody else in the live earlier that like I really wasn't feeling well. I wasn't planning on doing it, but then I was like, I actually have time today and I miss everyone and I haven't done one in a while. So I just kind of jumped on, like kind of last minute. Thank you, Patricia, for the super chat. I appreciate you. But But anyway, like, he's not the right messenger for this because he is a rich, out of touch celebrity. So it's not that De Niro is saying anything that is necessarily wrong here. Like, he's right about everything he's saying about Trump. But why did the Biden administration, is out of touch as they are, like, you guys are so out of touch, why did you think that bringing out this, like, out of touch rich person was going to help anything? Like, what? It just shows how insanely out of touch they are. You know what I mean? Oh, thank you, Absalom, for the super sticker.
A couple of blocks from here, a jury found him liable for sexual abuse. Somehow, he even got self-styled patriots to support a man who called for terminating the Constitution, and on January 6th, rallied an angry mob to threaten democracy, leaving death and destruction.
I hear you, Mohammed, but
that's why I needed to.
I hear you about Robert De Niro being a familiar face or whatever. I totally get that. But the problem is he's too famous. Like, there isn't anybody that doesn't know who Robert De Niro is. He's been a famous actor for the better part of like 6 decades. So, like, it just feels out of touch. Like, couldn't you find some, like, kind of famous person that isn't, like, as rich or as well known to deliver this speech? Shame, Crimson Peaks wrote, shameful day in American history. I know, Mike Johnson is such a cock. He's such a cock. Get out of here. It's a trap. Are you blind? Okay, that is a good quote, but yeah. So I'm going to speed this up just slightly.
Be involved and wanted to be involved in the new Biden-Harris ad because it shows the violence of Trump and reminds us that he'll use violence against anyone who stands in the way of his megalomania and greed. But it's a coward's violence. Do you think Trump ever threw a punch himself or took one? This guy who ran and hid in the White House bunker when the protesters outside?
Would have been better.
No way. He doesn't get blood on his hands. No, he doesn't. He directs the mob to do his dirty work for him by making a suggestion, an inference.
Yeah, somebody else, and Robert De Niro would know about mobs, okay? He has played many mobsters in his day. Also, somebody just mentioned the comment again about Ember Long said that the conspiracy has been debunked. No, it hasn't. I don't know what that person's talking about, but January 6th actually happened. Like, I watched it live. It actually happened. In fact, people got convicted for it, but none of the people behind it did. That's what people actually really miss about January 6th, was that January 6th was just the buffoons running to protest and to break shit. But they didn't get the people behind it. The people behind it, like Trump, like Peter Navarro, the people who actually planned it, they didn't get. They didn't prosecute. They just prosecuted the chumps that carried it out for them. Yeah, exactly, JT. Only the poor has got in trouble. Oh, yeah, I was going to say, if I were to vote for third party, I definitely would not vote for Marianne Williamson, because Marianne Williamson is like a low-key Zionist. Like, I wouldn't, and she's been very cagey on Gaza. Like, she's been kind of like, oh, well, you know, Israel has a right to defend itself, and la, 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 la. It's like, you need someone who's actually going to be, like, strong. Hey, you did really well on Fran's pod. Oh, response, both cut the dead air. Thank you, Maeve. I appreciate you saying that about Francesca's podcast, because I was totally unprepared for it. I didn't really know until like 5 minutes before, like, what we were going to be talking about or what the discussion was about. And I didn't know we were going to play a game. And that was all my fault, because Francesca's team sent me an email with all the information that we would be covering before the show, but I didn't read it or see it because I didn't think to check for an email. I was like, yeah, I'm just going to go on. Like, because I'm broke, I don't even have any of the things that people have for their podcast. So when I went on her podcast, she was like, oh, what mic are you going to use? And do you have headphones? And I was like, no, I don't have headphones. I don't have a professional mic. I literally just talk into my MacBook. So I was like, no. And I was totally unprepared for it. So I'm glad that you enjoyed it because I was worried that I did like a disservice by not doing more research or prepping for it. But like I said, I didn't know that I was supposed to prep for it. Yeah, the stuff, at the risk of sounding too life story, when I say I'm literally broke, like I do mean that. And by that, I mean, I don't have money for anything extra. All of my money goes to bills and I am in a lot of debt. I'm in a lot of debt because what happened was we were having a ton of financial problems in the last year. And so as a result of that, we were using credit cards to live and pay our bills. So we got in a ton of credit card debt and like thankfully I'm not unhoused. Like my husband and I pay our bills, but like we never have money for anything extra because we're in so much debt that once we pay our bills, we immediately have to spend money on paying off debt. It sucks. I know I'm not alone though. A lot of Americans are in debt.
And his gang grovels and follows his obvious order. It's no surprise that the murder rate and other violent crimes peaked under Trump and are falling under Biden. And now he's promising to use our own military to attack U.S. citizens. That's the tyrant. That's the tyrant he's telling us he'll do. And believe me, he means it. When Trump ran in 2016,
yeah, exactly.
Like
they want us
running for president. No, never could happen. We've forgotten the lessons of history that showed us other clowns who weren't taken seriously until they became dictators. With Trump.
But like to speak to that, like I know that I'm not alone in that. Like, like I know that a lot of people, it actually is really good. It's very good. I know that I'm not alone in that with being broke and having a lot of debt. I think that a lot of people think like, oh, if you have an apartment that you're paying, that you're living in, or you have a cell phone, it means you're not broke. Like, well, no, like I've had my cell phone for a while and I try to do my best with my husband to pay our rent and stuff. But when you're living in this economy where I believe that like the powers that be are trying to ruin our lives and trying to make us broke because they want us to be cogs in a machine for their shitty jobs, it makes it really, really hard. And the more you're in debt, I'm sure anybody who's been in debt understands this. The more you're in debt, the harder it is to get out. Because it's like if I make a payment on my credit card for the month, I'm only paying a little bit of the principal because they charge me money for having debt. Like you get charged for having debt. And then like, just stupid things like that. Like my electricity bill was $400 last month. Like that's insane. It's a joke. I don't use that much electricity. It's only me and my husband and our dogs. Like, and of course I have dogs. So it's like dogs are really expensive when you live in the city. It's just a lot. So it's like, I'm not so like destitute to the point where like I used to be unhoused. So it's not like that. And I'm grateful for that, but it's like, it's very, very hard, like to try to get anything that is not when you are under this much debt and you don't have the money. Like, so for me, like, I don't get a haircut, even though I need a haircut. I would like to get a haircut, but I don't get one because to me, that is a expense that is just not a priority when I know my phone bill is coming up and I know my internet bill is coming up and our rent is really, really high because I live in Brooklyn. I live in New York City. So our rent is really high, although rent's getting higher all across the country. So it's like not even just New York anymore. It's like so much of the country. And so my rent's really high. So it's like, I'm not going to spend money on like getting a haircut when, I have all these bills and all this debt, so it's just hard. It's just annoying. And it's like, I feel like the powers that be like want us to stay down because if they can keep us poor and desperate, then we never will like do anything we want, like they want us to be cogs in the machine of their shitty businesses. You know what I mean? Like They want us to continue to sell for them. They want us to work for Amazon. They want us to like work for all these places. They don't want us having a creative outlet. They don't want us making content and talking about the news. They don't want us doing anything like that. Yeah, exactly. They want us to be serfs. That is what they want from us. They want us, yeah, Maeve, I hear you with the dogs. That's what they want us to be. And we don't have health care, but Israel does. Okay? We can't buy a house, but all the Israelis get to just go steal houses from Palestinians in the occupied West Bank. Like, literally, that's what this is. So that's why it was like hard for me and kind of scary to like start doing this whole content creation thing and kind of jumping into it full time, because that's not a easy thing to do when you don't have a lot of money. Like, it's kind of scary, you know, because it's very inconsistent income, and you're kind of just like, you don't really know what you're getting into. But at the same time, like, I kept getting fired from my jobs anyway. So I kept ending up unemployed. And I was like, well, I may as well try to become a full-time content creator, because I keep losing my jobs anyway. So people obviously don't want to hire me. Oh, you're right, the stuff. We need to get you advertiser sponsors. Yes. I would be totally happy with doing advertising and sponsoring if it was a brand that I actually liked. Like, if it's a brand that's actually good, then like, and ethical, then I would be like totally cool to promote it, or something I actually use, you know? No, for me, Maeve, like one of the reasons why I had a hard time like keeping a job a lot was because of the fact that I have a lot of mental health issues. Yes, coffee. I would do coffee ads, bro, because I genuinely love coffee. Like, love coffee. So like I would do that. Oh yeah, I used to get therapy through BetterHelp a couple of years ago. It's such a scam. I don't want to discourage anybody from getting, you know, therapy. Therapy is wonderful, but I did not have a good experience with BetterHelp. Yeah, you're right, Mohammed. Mountain Dew should sponsor me. I gave so much of my life to Mountain Dew, so many years to Mountain Dew, okay? That's, you know, the other reason, guys, why I say too that I need to get like a lot more, like I would like to have a little bit more inculcation as far as like not just finances, but like subscribers to help kind of insulate me, is because then I can do more of what I want without fear of, you know, TikTok taking my videos down or something, you know? It's because if you have more followers or subscribers, or you have more independence where your subscribers and people like sponsors that are willing to stand behind you will stand behind you, your subscribers stand behind you, your patrons stand behind you, the brands that you do end up working with stand behind you, it's a lot easier to be able to do what you want. Because I think I told you guys this, that like every single time I post a parody video making fun of Zionists, they take it down. Like, I've had my shit demonetized, given community guideline strikes on TikTok and shit like that. And I feel like it's better to be, it's easier to do those things if you have a little bit of insulation, because you have a community, whether it's sponsors or whether it's your own subscribers or patrons that are kind of cushioning you from them full on attacking you. So that's what I hope to do. Because I made, you know, a lot of comments or a lot of content parody videos, but it's discouraging when every time I make a parody video and I put it on TikTok, they fucking take it down. Like, it's just so annoying. Oh, thank you, Crimson Peak. Oh, that's really sweet. I appreciate that. Yeah, unfortunately, music doesn't pay anything. In fact, being a musician costs money. Like, it literally costs money. It does not pay you anything. But again, that to me goes back to the point of like our capitalist system, that they don't want art. They don't want artists. Like, the artists that get really famous are people that can make a lot of money for capitalism. And when it comes to just like, I want to be an artist, or somebody who wants to make clay, or, you know, whatever, write music. They don't want us. Like, they don't want us a part of society. Yeah, I think I will eventually put my podcast or whatever I'm doing here. I don't know if you would call it a podcast or just like a YouTube video on Rumble. I just haven't had the emotional bandwidth to do it right now because I'm already posting on so many platforms. And as I told you guys before, because of the fact that I don't have a lot of money, I do all of this myself. So like all the content that I post, and I post every single day with the exception of not being on vacation or whatever, when I went to go see my sister, I post across platforms and I do like all the editing and the SEO and everything I do myself. So it's like, it's very taxing. And so I would eventually like to get on Rumble too. I just haven't yet, but I will eventually. You know what I would really love? I also want to do more promotion of Palestinian brands. I want to do more Palestinian and Arab brands. I would love to get like an Arab sponsor, like an Arab company, an Arab or a Palestinian company to sponsor. I would love that because I've bought a lot of Palestinian created things on already. We're behind your back till death. Anyone supports our Palestinian calm more than one of us. Oh, that's really sweet, O'Day. Thank you. And thank you for the super chat. Thank you, Oh Bony Bird. Getting guest spots is going to be a lot for sub counts, I bet. Probably. It is not easy, though, to get guests when you are as small right now as I am. So, what are the brands I got? Oh, one of them was one called Sima Al Hawa. It's a very tiny brand, Palestinian company that I bought the Anti-Zionist Club shirt from, which I love. I love that sweater. Okay. Oh my gosh, I totally forgot we were watching the Robert De Niro thing. No, you on other shows. Oh, yeah, Maeve. Yeah, you're right. And I have been on other podcasts. I'm still waiting for TYT to invite me on. Okay. Can you guys believe that? TYT has still not invited me on their show. Where is Jank? Still not invited me on the show. Ooh, Middle Eastern coffee roasters. Actually, Arabic coffee is like some of my favorite coffee, actually. Another show that I would love to go on would be like, what's his name? Oh, I totally just like blanked his name. But I forgot that Jazz said the Young Turks suck. Well, I don't think so. I like the Young Turks. But you know, everybody has their opinion, which is fine. Why is my forehead red just from like scratching it barely? Everybody has their, yeah, I would go on Jimmy Dore if he invited me on. Everybody has their thing. I'd go on Lex Friedman, not that Lex Friedman would have a reason to invite me on. Yes, I wish I could go on Piers Morgan. I would love to go on Piers Morgan. Oh, I would love that so much. I would love that. Yeah. Yeah, I would go on all of them. I hate when people like gatekeep shit and are like, you can't go on this podcast or you shouldn't go on this or you should boycott. It's like, no. That's not me. I would love to go on any of them. You know who I would love to interview just for like shits and giggles to see like what he would say? Is I would love to talk to what's his bucket? What is the guy's name? Why am I not remembering anything? Yes, what I want to do, I think I told you guys this. I want to go on Piers Morgan's show and wear the "But Do You Condemn Hamas" shirt. That's what I want. I want to wear the "But Do You Condemn Hamas?" Yes, I saw that, Emberlong, that he did a video of mine, or he covered like one of my Rappaport videos, which I didn't even know because he didn't tag me like in the video or anything, or even mention my name. I found out because someone on Instagram told me. Would I debate the son of Hamas? Yes, I would love to. That guy is literally a Mossad agent. I would love to debate him. Also, he was such a clown. Like Abby Martin is so respectable and like was very calm and level-headed. I probably would not have been that calm and level-headed. I would have probably started screaming back at him. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yes, I would love to. I tried to find your links in his summary. Yeah, he didn't tag me in it or anything, which was a bummer. First of all, we should be blocking all celebrities. Okay. No, I want Piers Morgan to invite me on a show and I want to be wearing the "But do you condemn Hamas" shirt. And then if he says anything, I'm gonna be like, yeah, but do you? But do you condemn Hamas? Piers' show made a member of the crew remove a Palestinian flag shirt. Okay, so then you know what I would do? Not that he would invite me on anyway, but I would wear the shirt under my shirt and then I would take the shirt off and do like a reveal. You know what's stupid about Piers Morgan not having me on and not inviting me on? He invited the crackhead Barney person on. That was so stupid. It wasn't even an entertaining segment. And who is that person? But he had her on, but he didn't invite me on. Oh, I would love to debate the Mossad son of Hamas guy. Yeah. So, no, literally, first of all, any celebrity you should block, definitely. But there are some that are particularly egregious that should definitely be blocked, like out the gate. Like anyone who hasn't spoken out about Palestine should be blocked immediately, if not sooner. Same with influencers. And not buying their shit. Not buying their shit. Review Abu Odea. Who's that? Would I debate Rabbi Shmuley? Thank you, O'Day. Yeah. Yeah, that would be fun. He's a creep. I would love to. I would love to debate Michael Rappaport, but Michael Rappaport is too much of a weenie to face me. It was Michael Rappaport that went on TikTok and started reporting a bunch of my videos. Like a creep that he is, he was screen recording my TikTok from like a year ago and then posting it on Twitter. And then he was like reporting all my videos of him where I'm making fun of him. He's a coward. He loves to pretend he's so like badass New Yorker. Like, yeah, that's right. I'm Michael Rappaport, big dick, Donald Trump. Like, he pretends, fuck you, and fucking. Like, he tries to like act like he's all badass like that, but he's such a weenie. He wouldn't debate me. Yeah, totally unhinged. Listen, you fucks. Oh, I should have got my shirt, you guys. I got my shirt. It was so funny. Did I because I showed you guys my shirt, right? My Listen You Fuck shirt. I got it, the physical copy of it. It's amazing. It's so amazing. I love it so much. To watch House of Cards. Oh yeah, we have to finish this clip. I have to at least finish it. I put it on 1.5.
We have a second chance, and no one is laughing now. This is the time to stop him by voting him out once and for all. We don't want to wake up after the election saying, what, again? My God, what the hell have we done? We can't have that happen again. Yesterday was Memorial Day. It's a good time to reflect on how Americans fought and died so that we may enjoy the freedoms guaranteed to us by a democratic government. A government that, as President Lincoln said, of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. Under Trump, this kind of government will perish from the earth. I don't mean to scare you. No, wait, maybe I do mean to scare you. If Trump returns to the White House, you can kiss these freedoms goodbye that we all take for granted.
I think I got a bug bite on my forehead.
Forget about it. That's over. That's done. If he gets in, I can tell you right now, he will never leave. He will never leave.
That's true.
You know that.
He won't.
He will never leave. What does that mean? Is that the country we want to live in? Do we want him running this country and saying, I'm not leaving, I'm dictator for life? I hope this new ad campaign reaches outside the bubble to remind supporters of what a danger he is to our lives. This is not a threat. This is a reality.
Car honking.
And that's why I've joined the Biden-Harris campaign, because the only way to preserve our freedoms and hold on to our humanity is to vote
Thank
for
you,
Joe
Alien
Biden
Buddha.
president. Really. We don't have a choice. On January 6th, while Republican lawmakers despicably tried to keep the loser Trump, in the White House, and Trump-inspired insurrectionists stormed the Capitol,
Yeah, you're
brave
right,
men
Mohammed.
and women from law enforcement put their lives on the line to defend this country, our democracy. They are the true heroes. These guys are the true heroes. They stood and put their lives on the line for these lowlives, for Trump.
They lied under oath.
They lied under oath. Who lied under oath? What are you telling me? Excuse me? They lied under oath? What are you saying? They're traitors. I don't know. I don't even know how to deal with you, my friend. I don't even know how to deal with you. They stood there. They didn't have to. And there were other ones in there who probably were in with them a little bit too, and they found a way to get around. Not these guys. They stood there and fought for us, for you. For you.
Oh,
No,
okay.
no, they fought for you,
Okay.
buddy. You're able to stand right here now.
Can you send me his name?
They are the true heroes. I'm honored to be with these two heroes today, from former Capitol Police Officer Harry Dunn and former Metropolitan Police Officer Michael Fanone.
Are you talking to me? Yes, it is Amir.
I came here today to remind Americans of what Donald Trump is capable of and the violence that he unleashed on all Americans.
Okay, I guess that was the only Robert De Niro part. That's amazing. I do love, it's actually very New York. Abu Obeda. Yeah, actually the honk is a very New York. The car just like going off. Like that happens all the time. Sometimes I'll make videos and you can hear the honking in the back of my apartment. Like, I don't know if you guys can hear right now, but there's an ice cream truck you can hear outside of my apartment. My dogs are being so bad. I wish I could interview one of the Hamas militants. That would be fun. That would be cool to do. But I think that I don't think most of them would talk to the press, understandably. There is no peace in New York City, Mohammed. Egg it. My dog is being really bad and is like, egg it. No. Come here. So my dog is being really bad and he keeps jumping and pulling down the dog food bag and then ripping it open. I do like Crystal Ball. I do like her. She's done a lot. She's done a lot of really good work on Gaza. Isn't my dog cute? Why are you gray? My little baby. Anyway, okay, so I know, so cute. I know. Okay, so anyway, I gotta wrap this up soon, but I wanted to encourage those who are able to join my Ko-Fi. Ko-Fi is Ko-Fi is like Patreon, where you can just like choose an amount and become a patron every month. So I will encourage everybody to subscribe to my YouTube, and if you're able to subscribe to my Ko-Fi, which I'll put in the link of this live. Crystal and Kyle are mom and dad. True. Yeah, you're right, Rod and Ruby. She was like, he's like, that's correct, Mohammed. Yeah, it's kind of like Patreon, but obviously I want to try to build it up. So if you can join and become a monthly member, that would be really cool. I would appreciate that to support my work. Oh no. How do I get out of here? So, whoops. You guys, look at this. It's getting bigger. The stuff, yes, you can make one-off donations on Ko-Fi. Oh my gosh, look at this bug bite on my head. Yes, it is Ko-Fi. It's spelled like Kofi with a dash. I'm gonna put the link in the live. So if you guys want to see it, it's right after I'll put it in the link right after I end this live. But yes, it does allow you to do one-off donations, which of course I always appreciate, but I obviously want to try to get like consistent members or people that will stay members every month. Get some antihistamines ASAP. Oh my gosh, I thought, Ruby, at first you wrote get some anti-Semitic ASAP. Mosquito. Anti-Semitism creep. Yes. All of the bug bites and the spider bites are Hamas. Would I react to Jon Stewart? Of course. Of course. Yeah, spider bites are Hamas. When my dogs are breaking into stuff, it's also Hamas. Saying free parking is anti-Semitic. Oh my gosh. Yes. Yeah. Also, yeah, follow me on Twitter if you guys want to see the ridiculous things that psychotic Zionists say to me on a daily basis on Twitter. They're so ridiculous and embarrassing. I know. I'm not supposed to be touching it. It's hard not to, though. It's like really bothering me. I need to like get something on it. Itsy bitsy. Oh. That's really funny. Yeah, I can do a reaction video to his one about Israel. I'm not sure which one you're referring to, but I could do one. Yes. I should go to the pharmacy and be like, do you guys have any anti-Semitic cream for my forehead? And if they say no, I'm going to accuse them of being Hamas. Where going? Is that the one that the member of parliament got fired? Oh, yeah. I'm not sure which video of Jon Stewart you're referring to. I know, right, Skibby? It is. It is. I don't even know. I feel like I didn't have it at the beginning of stream. And then it was there. And like as the stream was going on, it kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Zionist cream works better. True. All right. Well, if you guys want, I know the stuff, I kept scratching it. If you guys want, you should put some ideas or things that you want me to cover that we can talk about in the Discord. If you guys haven't joined the Discord yet, you definitely should. And it's just us like talking in there. And like if you have any ideas of things that you want covered, you can just put it in the Discord. Apple cider vinegar. Yeah, I should try that. Oh, this is so annoying. Okay. Oh, man. Okay. The link to the Discord is in the community area of what do you call it? YouTube. Like if you're on my YouTube and you go to like the community part tab, there's a link to the Discord. Oh, thank you, O'Day, for joining the Ko-Fi. Thank you, O'Day. Yay. That's 13 members then. 13 members. Oh, I should put it in the description. No, you guys are right. I'll put it in the description. In my channel description. I'll put it in the channel description. Yeah, I have a lot to catch up on. All right, I gotta get going because I gotta go and take these little boys on their damn walk. But you know what though? Real talk, I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to have a cigarette. I need to have a cigarette. I need to have a cigarette. So for those of you who pray for me. Pray for me. Pray that the link is expired. What? 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 What is happening? Why? How? But how? Okay, so how do I share it then? Wait. What? How do you share it? Okay. How do I set it to not expire though? You can set it in settings and make sure that you selected not expire. That's so annoying. Okay, right after I get off of this, I'm going to try to fix it. I don't know how to fix it. I'm going to have to look up how to fix it. Like where the damn, I don't even know where the damn settings are. Hold on. Oh, wait. Create channel. Server settings? But where in server settings do you make it so that it doesn't stop? Does anybody know in edit invite click? Oh, wait. Where it says custom invite? Wait, I just saw it. Custom invite. Integrations, app directory, enable community, server subscriptions, members, invites. What? But I don't even see invites anywhere else. Bro. Wait, I'm going to share my screen with you guys really quick because I want you to see what I'm seeing. All right, do you guys see this? Edit invite link button is a small ass button. Yeah, I don't see it. Amir, it's yes, I could. Just let me know what you want me to post. Because I feel like I'm like, if I do exclusive content, what would that even be? Because like I talk so much and we do content here and I do content on TikTok. I'm like, what would people even want to see that's exclusive? Where the channels are at the top next to the search bar. Wait. Two little men and a plus sign. Where? Where the channels are At the top near the search bar, there is a little man say edit invite link. Okay, wait. Okay, you said where the channels are, two little men. How am I, where? Okay, I see this is the two little men. I see them. The two little men and a plus sign. But where's the plus sign? I don't see the plus side. No, go to where the channels are. This? Are you talking about this plus sign? Or this plus sign? What? Hit Blakely at the top left. At the top left. Okay. Never. Generate new link. Copy. Did I do it? Thank you, guys. Will it let me post it in chat? Yay! Thank you, guys. What's happening? What's that noise? Yay! Thank you guys for helping me. I posted the link in the chat. Did it work? Thank you, Old Bony Bird, Mohammed, everybody. You guys all helped me. This was a team effort. Okay, yeah. So with the Discord, and I will repost an updated link in my YouTube profile, I feel like that would not only be a great way for you guys to connect with each other because we're building a community here. So this will be a great way for you guys to connect with each other because, again, we're building a pretty cool community here. But also I think it's also a good way for you guys to tell me what you want to see me talk about. So like, so like regarding, I don't know, whatever, like next time I do a live stream, which might be Sunday, I might be able to do it Sunday. If not, I might do it Monday. I think I might do it Monday, Sunday or Monday, but I'll let you guys know. I'll like post in the Discord what day I'm going to do it. But like, for whatever, like I feel like the Discord will be good for you guys to like tell me what stories you want to talk about, like what's going on in the news, what's happening in Gaza or the world or whatever that you guys want to talk about. I feel like it would make it easier. Oh yeah, do you guys like my profile picture on here? Wait, how do I? Where's edit profile, bro? Likely edit. Do you guys like my profile picture? I'm the Hamas bee. All bees are Hamas. I'm the Al-Qassam bee, the wasp that attacked the IOF soldiers. It's so good. It's so good. I want more stuff with that green bandana. Oh, it's so good. I so badly want that green bandana. I don't know how to get it. I don't know how to make it, but I really want one. I really want that green bandana. But instead of saying whatever it says, I don't know what it says because I don't know how to speak Arabic. But I wanted to say, but do you condemn Hamas? Yes, Amir. To be or not to be. Hamas. You know what I found to be the most hilarious thing about the Piers Morgan thing is when he actually wrote on Twitter that what happened in Rafah was horrible and horrific and inexcusable. Everyone on Twitter who's a Zionist started calling him Hamas. So, like, he's been spending months and months being like, but do you condemn Hamas? And then all the Zionists are like, turns out Piers Morgan is Hamas. All right, everybody. I got to take my dogs out now. I'm glad that you guys joined the Discord. Please become a member on Ko-Fi if you're able. Obviously, you know, if you're not able, totally understand. That's cool. I can't join a lot of things that are like paid memberships because I can't afford it. So if you can't, totally understandable. If you can, that would be awesome. I think my Amazon drivers have so join the Ko-Fi if you can, but if you can't, the Discord is free and join the Discord. And yeah, I will let you guys know if in the Discord whether or not it's going to be Sunday or Monday that I'm going to do my next live. All right, everybody. I love you all. Thank you for hanging out with me today as usual. I had fun with you guys. It's always fun. It's always informative. It's always based. All right. All right. So I love you guys, and I will see you either Sunday or Monday, but I will let you know. Thank you, Rotten Ruby. I love you all. Bye. Free Palestine. Fuck Zionists.